What's up, people? I'm Jason SLS, and I'm gonna share a story with you today. It's about my 6th birthday. Well, a few years back, when I was 6 years old, this was on my birthday. I was excited when I woke up in the morning I woke up in excitement because of the fact that it was my birthday. I ran downstairs as normal and looked for my presents in the living room. On the sofa was my mother watching TV and my father reading a newspaper. But none of my presents were on the floor. So I started looking around the house to see if I could find any of them. And I looked for about an hour and I couldn't find any. So I assumed that they just hid it in a really good place this year, as they'd often hide them around the house. So I went into the living room and told my mother I couldn't find them. And she didn't even look at me. She didn't respond in any way. So I told my father instead, and he didn't respond either. They just carried on reading their newspapers and looking at the TV. I went in front of my mother in order to make it so she can definitely see me, and then started calling for her. She still looked straight through me at the TV. I turned around to see what she was watching, and the TV was just on static. And I looked at my father, and he was reading the newspaper. I went up to him to ask him what was the matter with Mom, and he didn't answer me either. After about an hour of trying to get these two to talk to me or make any gestures of knowing I'm here, they just wouldn't. I ended up turning the TV off to see if that would get a reaction off my mother, but it didn't. And she just carried on staring blankly at the screen, at the black screen, as if it was a favorite program or something. I ended up taking the newspaper off my father, and again he just carried on looking at the space between his hands as if he was still reading. I ended up shaking them to see whether or not I could get a response, and they fell, just lay down where they were, and there was blood everywhere. Somebody has killed my parents and just left their empty shells there. There were no insides, no backbone, nothing. Just a bit of wood to keep them sitting there, and a towel around their back to stop the blood from getting everywhere. The moment I moved the towel, I vomited, and God, it was horrible. I started hearing gargling and banging from the wardrobe behind me. I opened it hesitantly to see what was inside, but I really wish I shouldn't have opened it. I saw my sister. She didn't even live with us at the time, and she was gargling on her own blood. She was suffocating and drowning on her own blood, and she died in front of my eyes. It was horrible. I threw up again. I can remember this day as if it was yesterday, and I wish I couldn't, but it's very hard to forget. I ended up running out the house, and I ended up living with my nan. I'm older now and live on my own. And I'm telling you this story because I felt it was time for it to be shared. Hello? Who's there? Mom? Dad? No way. You guys are dead. No. No!